the thing that drives me crazy is that, and I think these dating apps promote this belief that like similar interest is what makes compatibility work. And so a lot of my clients are like, Anita, but we love the same music. Like, I want to make this work. Or, we play pickleball together. I go, having similar interests, research shows that having similar interests has little to no bearing on whether or not your relationship is going to work. And yet, just even kind of playing around with the algorithm just showed me that, I don't think these algorithms don't even work.
Well, I don't think they're smart enough to like feed you stuff, but they're not smart enough to like take the data and do something relevant with it. And I think what I remember, and now I don't know why I was doing this if based on what you said, but I used to like read profiles, look at pictures, see what people are doing, being like, oh, like, are they doing similar things? Like, do they like similar things? Are there, is there something in a picture that would maybe be something that we could bond over, or a prompt that is, and a lot of people don't even do that. And maybe that was pointless for me to do back in the day. But I always feel like the apps don't give you enough encouragement to get to know each other, nor do they give you enough information that you can even input so that they can try and match you. Like, which is what one of the things I was going to ask about was matchmaking, table at too. But like, what do you think how do you think people should use these apps? Hinge, Bumble. I don't think anyone's using Tinder anymore. I could be wrong. I know for a while, people were like, oh, I'm having success on Tinder again. It's like all full circle. But what do you think is like the best approach to using dating apps so that you're not just picking people based on similar experiences or based on looks, which is the other one, or a funny prompt?
I do think attraction is important. So I do think I think people should have good photos, which, it might not surprise you at how bad some of the photos are that people pick, but you should have clear photos. And I think people don't put in enough time into like the prompts or the bio, right? So I don't think Hinge has a bio, but you could do prompts. But Bumble, for example, you could add a bio and then prompts. But it's not everything should be funny. I tell my clients, like, pick something serious about you, like maybe something that is characteristics or values that you have, or what you're looking, and then what you're looking for, like who do you want to attract, and then maybe have like a funny or silly prompt or something. And then kind of maybe going back to your other question, people get so overwhelmed with the matches that I tell my clients, if you've matched with maybe 5 people and you're having conversations and maybe 1 or 2 are turning into dates, just pause your profile, because you could really get into the habit of, well, who else is out there? Who else is out there? And you're getting that like dopamine hit. So totally. If you want to make it work for you, then you have to put in the effort. And it can't be like, hey, how was your weekend? Like, you have to actually ask thoughtful questions as well. And a lot of my clients sometimes, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but some of my clients, they swipe mindlessly. So I think we have to bring more intention into swiping and actually reading profiles and, so like asking good questions, et cetera, getting to know somebody and really just giving people a chance, like not being too dismissive. I think, for women, I always check, like, what's your height requirement? Do we need to lower that? You're 5 feet. Like, why are you looking for a 6 foot tall guy? Come on here. Even mileage, et cetera. Like, that one thing I will say about Love is Blind is that, because you don't see the other person, like feedback that when they interview some of the cast members, it's like, oh, this person normally wouldn't have been my type, and that is one thing that I do appreciate about that show is that they do show that people can make a connection and like have a deep connection dating someone outside of your type. And so I do encourage clients to do that.
Yeah, I actually, the one thing I will always say is I think that the part of that show where you get to, first of all, it's not even just the like talking to people without seeing them. It's the whole like fact that your whole regular life is gone. And like at the beginning you have 15 people, but you whittle that down and it isn't endless swiping. Right. And once you don't have a connection, or that connection is one way, or I guess it's not a connection, but the feelings are one way, it's over. Like, so to that element, I feel like there is some obviously like legitimacy to getting to know someone that way. And what I think like with the dating apps, the fact that they give you that endless opportunity, that belief that there's someone just a swipe away, or there's this person who's behind this paywall. If I only had one more rose, it's just this like onset of like more. But really what you're doing is you're burning yourself out. Just like if you look at TikTok too long, or you're burning yourself out as if you were, stuck to a screen too long, whatever that is, like
Hmm.
you're kind of like doing the same thing when it comes to dating, because these apps, in my opinion, are not giving you opportunity to like really connect with people and get to know people.
Yeah, I mean, that's where each person has to take ownership of that. Like, I have a client I'm working with who he's going through a divorce. I mean, the marriage was over a while ago. And even I saw him this week and he's like, Anita, I'm like, it's kind of like you could get addicted to like the swiping, because you want to see like who's the next person that you're going to match with. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Because he said it was very helpful that you said to just pause your profile so that he could
Mhm.
just kind of let the story unfold naturally to whoever he was talking with.
Which
Yeah.
I think I totally encourage that for anyone. I remember like there was this one point. So I had a little bit of a villain era back in 2018 where I was a total dick and I was dating. I was doing all the things I'm saying are horrible. And but there was like one point where I remember there were like two people that I was connected with, and I stopped and I like focused all of my
Hmm.
like dating energy on figuring out which one of these two I liked more and I thought would be more compatible. Um, and I can tell you, like, it was a total like breath of fresh air to do that.
Yeah.
Instead of like having these two conversations and budding, dates that I'm trying to manage, and then I'm also trying to manage this pipeline of people on a dating app too. So like, I definitely think that if you're interested in someone, you should pause. Now, one other thing that this is what really frustrates me. So forgive me for making this about me for a minute.
Don't go for it.
Meeting people in person,
Hmm.
meeting people online. I think everyone's really tired of dating apps. I think we know that. I think it's exhausting, and it's burnout on dating. But what I also would find, and I actually recently had my own quasi experience with this, is that even when you meet someone in real life, you may be able to make like a quicker connection. But if that person or you are still on the dating apps, it's still this like endless supply. It's still this like competition where even if you met in person, this person's still talking to you and dating five people on the dating apps or continuing through that process. And then you're kind of in the rat race or pulled into it, even if you're trying to stay out of it and meet people in a more genuine and authentic way.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to what we talked about before is what are you looking for? Like, what do you
Mm,
want? Like, what do you need in a partner? Like, when you think about a long-term relationship, because if you have a good idea, again, it's not perfect. Like, I even tell my clients, I'm like, this blueprint is not set in stone, it's modifiable. This is just a starting point for me to see how you're
mhm,
dating, how you're assessing, each of these dates. But if you know what you're looking for, then your dating will be different because it's not
intentional.
just about a feeling, and people chase this spark and this connection, which drives me absolutely crazy because infatuation fades on average between 12 and 18 months. Like everybody loses infatuation. Researchers checked around the world. Nobody stays infatuated. You actually have to work at that. And what people are scared, because I think we might have talked about fear a little bit, but or this might have been pre-recording, but people are so scared. Like I hear so much, Anita, I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to take the risk, or I don't know if this is going to work out, so I don't even want to try. And I'm like,
Mhm.
but then how are you supposed to develop those feelings of connection if you're not willing to be vulnerable? Like there's no other way to have that connection. And I love like the slow burn. And then like when two people have the foundation of having a healthy relationship, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Thank you for listening to this clip from the full episode of Eyes Wide Open. Please like and subscribe for daily clips and new episodes that drop every Tuesday. I appreciate you.